Hello and welcome to Design or Design. My name is Maria and this channel is all about fashion, it's all about trends and how we can stay relatively earth friendly while trying to be trendy. Quite a long title, but here we are. Today we're going to be talking about the trends for fall winter of 2022-2023 and particularly in texture. So when we talk about texture, we have lots of different textures, right? Is it like maybe something smooth, maybe something a little bit more rough, maybe something like chunky, voluminous, and etc. And we're just going to take a look of what textures were used on the runways and just figure out which textures to go for depending on your body type. And this time around, I'm going to be talking about men fashion trends as part of women's fashion trends and have a few examples from both of the shows. These are not in particular order at all. Without any further ado, let's just get started. Okay, so we have knits. We have quite fuzzy knits, maybe sometimes sets having like the same knit on the bottom and the top, sometimes have more of a hugging type knits or more voluminous knits. So depending on your body type, you should go for certain style. For instance, if you want to add volume to a certain part of your body, for instance, if you are a pear-shaped, then you should go for something voluminous at the top of your body to kind of have that balance. Once again, if you're pear-shaped and you would like to have something on the bottom that's knitted, then choose something that would be closer to your body, would not give it more volume, just something like a very tight knit, kind of like a bodycon maybe situation with something voluminous at the top. And reverse that, if you're a reverse triangle, then having more of a voluminous knit on the bottom and a smaller tighter knit at the top would be great. If you're an hourglass, just having one consecutive like kind of a feel throughout the garment is great. As long as you don't add any chunkiness to the waistline, it should be all right. On the runways, we see so many different types of knits. Sometimes there are very fuzzy, so if it's a fuzzy knit, if you just think about what we just talked about, which part of your body you want to add that volume to, just if you don't want to go for it, don't. That's quite all right. We have a lot of those kind of slimming bodycon dresses. We see a lot of really funky prints in Prada show, more of a retro style. And if you like to know more about prints, I have a video on that already out and you can check that out. Let's talk about furs now. And yes, it is a controversial kind of a subject, having a real fur that being damaging and not very responsible, or having fake fur and that be making more chemicals, more pollution, and etc. My favorite kind of furs are thrifted furs or something that I am reusing in some way. So we have plenty of both, in my opinion. Of course, unless I do proper like extensive research, I wouldn't know which brand used which, but there's plenty of obvious like fake fuzzy stuff, like for instance in Diesel right here we have Burberry even having gowns like this. Is that fur? Is that not? Chanel also having tweeded things with a kind of a carpet kind of style. Yeah, we see a lot of teddy on the runways. It is pretty fun. I like it. Once again, think about where that brings volume, because it is fur or fake fur or that cozy thing. It brings a lot of volume to your garment, to your body as well. So think about which part you need to have more of it on. Usually it's more like an outerwear thing. So if you are a pear shape, think about having maybe like a cropped fur jacket of some sort, just not to have anything super long so it doesn't add more volume to your bottom section. Here in Rokas, you can see skirts being made out of longer kind of fur situation, and if you are reverse triangle, those would be really good for you just to add that volume to the hips in order to get that form more of a balanced shape. Yves Saint Laurent having so many of either full-on fur coats, or maybe a fur color, fur lapels, maybe some accents on the sleeves. Of course, Burberry having that striped fur coat. Oh my goodness, so beautiful, so interesting. We even have some of the fur accessories, a lot of bags in that furriness, and also hats. But I'll talk about accessories in another video, so those that will probably be in there. Just a little foreshadowing here. I think I would love to have something along the lines of this very dramatic over like statement coat of some sort, but I guess that will have to wait a few years before they can be available in any type of thrift store or secondhand store. So anyways, they do take up a lot of space though, so if you're tight on space in your closet, maybe it's not the way to go. We also see a lot of shaggy kind of a coat style. Dolce & Gabbana had crazy statement coats in furs and like in different patterns, different colors, also accents on the shoulders and the hips. That is really like, I see drag queen wearing that, but I would also see myself wearing it, so I don't really have anything else to say. We have some belted coats like this. Lanvin having very gorgeous coats in fur, and once again more of that carpet kind of a style, very fuzziness. And yes, so we have Prada having little details on the shoulders. So if you are pear-shaped, maybe this is a way to go to accentuate the shoulders instead. We're also heading into more of a feather zone, having more feathers also, depending what you would like to accent. Is it the top that you would like to make bigger to balance your bottom, or is it on the bottom to balance out your top? Depends on your shape, of course. And feathers are really fun, but they are dry clean only, so if you are that kind of an extra person, might as well try them out. Why not? I do have a feather skirt that I never wear, probably because I don't want to take it to the dry cleaning. And yes, let's head into the leather, something completely opposite to the furs, but still kind of the same situation. Is it very sustainable? Is it real leather? Is it faux leather? I can't really pinpoint a positive side here, but we do still see a lot of it, and it's been here for a few seasons now, so you for sure have it in your closet, or maybe you can go and thrift it because it's been here for a while. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. We have a lot of like full leather outfits, or maybe it's just a detail, maybe it's some sort of a corset. We have some leather pants, leather blazers, leather corsets, leather skirts, everything leather. It's combined sometimes with just a full leather outfit, sometimes it's combined with a knit, or maybe just a regular kind of a type of a dress. So leather, depending on whether it's shiny or not, it can be slimming. So if the leather is very dull and not shiny and quite form-fitting, then it will minimize the appearance of a certain part of your body. So once again, talking about the body types, if you're wearing a very dull, not shiny at all leather on the bottom part of your body, if you're pear-shaped, it would make it a little bit smaller, seem smaller. It kind of doesn't bring the eye too much. If it's shiny and very glossy, then for sure avoid it, to avoid wearing it on the bottom part of your body if you're pear-shaped. On the other hand, if you are reverse triangle, for sure wear glossy kind of a leather on the bottom. But we also see like a full leather coats to the floor sometimes in Yves Saint Laurent. We also have it just kind of jackets, skirts. I'm repeating myself now, but quite a lot of it on the runways. So if you like it, go ahead, maybe buy something a little bit more special in the leather, because it is kind of a very classical material. Maybe not buy leather pants, as they weren't in style for a very long time and now they are. So my prediction is that they will go out of style. Maybe go for an outerwear in leather, and once again, full leather, real leather, Completely up to you, but preferably thrifted. Just saying, you know, think about the environment, you guys. And we have it paired like in Miu Miu with very something feminine, maybe even lacy, even like little crystals and such. Very interesting pairing. As for the colors, most of the time it was kind of blacks and browns and more deeper colors, but we do see some really bright ones like in Moschino having red leather. We also have pink leather in Prada. We also have some of like more of a greenish ones in Prada. We also have some funky colored leathers in Christian Siriano as well as in Lanvin. All right, so leather takes me into latex slash maybe patent leather, something shiny. I know I just briefly talked about it, but the shininess, you would consider wearing it on something that you would like to bring more attention to. Latex seems to be a really form-fitting, and I have actually never worn or tried on latex, but it is something that I would really want to have. Latex leggings in Versace shows, like, oh my goodness, that is my dream. I have kind of faux latex leggings that I wear all the time, and I kind of have the same outfit situation, but I would rather have a lot more. We have also had some accents in that in Prada. We also have kind of a full shiny outfits in Raisa Vanessa, and I'm here for it for sure. Zimmerman had some puffy jackets on, like cropped puffy jackets, so that would be a great one for pear-shaped body type. Dolce & Gabbana had quite a lot of these very dramatic silhouettes, having lots of volume in the shoulders and in that very shiny patent leather material. I really like most of things, honestly, even this egg-shaped thing. We also have some puffer jackets. I don't know why I put them here, but Christian Siriano had a few dresses with that kind of a latexy feel. Rock had really cool latexy coat, which is one of my dreams, is actually on my mood board slash dream board. Hopefully I'll find something like this. All right, moving on to sparkle and shine. Once again, sparkle, shine, sequins. Maybe it's more of a metallic skein of a fabric. It is reflective. It is visually volume creating. Thinking about what part of your body you would like to highlight or make more voluminous, more larger. Think about that. If you're thinking about accessories like having a belt or a metallic scheme or something, and you are a reverse triangle, put it on your hips. Maybe try to avoid your waist area, as you always want to make sure that your waist is seemingly smaller than everything else. If you are pear-shaped, think about having more of the sequins at your shoulder, kind of a bust area, kind of a little bit of the 20s vibe. Here's a great example from Versace, having the sleeves and the bust more shiny on the blazer and having the rest kind of more toned down. If you are linear, like not much curvy, then having maybe a cropped top that is a little bit sparkly and shiny, and having a bottom that is shiny, and just having a clear nothing matte at the waistline that would give you more of an hourglass shape. We also have a lot of like just the little shininess in the really flowy materials as well. Once again, having sequins and having more of a gold scheme or a silver one. Eula Johnson having more of that silky material, but having that silver and gold in there. We also have it in Valentino. Valentino show was just basically bright pink and black. So if you have a monochromatic outfit, then adding more texture into it will definitely make it more interesting. So if you are a fan of monochromatic outfits, then think about how you could add more to your outfit using the texture element of the fabric. Some beautiful almost couture Burberry gowns, more of like a cape sparkly situation. Loewe having netting with the sparkle with like an actual cage type of a bottom to add more volume to the hips. We also see a few of the tweed style dresses in Louis Vuitton and a Chanel having little sparkles in there. Michael Kors having some gorgeous, very tight fitting dresses with sequins, having different colors. Almost every skin tone is present in here and they're beautiful. I love it. A Miu Miu having a mesh kind of a net situation with the sparkles. Moschino having metallic version of the shine. Off-White having little bit of a more subtler but still very shiny fabrics, whether it's suit, maybe a gown, or more of a smaller dress. I like them all, and everybody is wearing those sequined kind of mesh pants, and I want to get them so badly, but all of the things that I find are super short for my height, and I'm so disappointed. And Amazon is one size fits most, and trust me, it's not gonna fit me. So if you're more of a petite side, maybe you could pull it off. I would like something that would take me to the floor when it comes to this kind of a statement piece. We have a lot of shimmery see-through kind of things now that we take a look at it, like in Dolce & Gabbana, having really strong shoulder looks and having that kind of drape down. We also see it in Rock having that metallic dress and having more of a rhinestone ribbing. If you're enjoying this content so far and like to show me some support, because it does take me a lot of time to make this videos, I would really appreciate for you to like this video and maybe leave me a little nice comment down below. Thank you. Let's talk about tweeds. Tweed is more of a medium to larger type of a texture. It can be a little rough sometimes, and one thing that when I was researching I came across is a stylist who talked about how to wear the textures, like what textures would benefit you the most. If you have kind of clear skin, very nice complexion, you can get away with anything. You can wear smooth textures, you can wear rough textures as a contrast, anything basically. And if you do have a problematic skin, you have lots of texture on your face. Maybe it's from acne, maybe acne scars, maybe a little discoloration. Then you should go for more of a harsher texture that is closer to your face. So the smoothness of a garment would not highlight your textured skin, if that makes sense. So that was a very interesting insight that I'd never thought about. But tweed is one of those that can help you out. So Chanel basically had a whole show dedicated to tweed. It is one of their most luxurious and expensive items usually. So I see from the marketing perspective why they did it. Can be a little boring just having everything tweed. Like this blazer is tweeded, although it doesn't have the classic tweed like Chanel has. It is somewhat rough anyways. And the dresses that we talked about in Louis Vuitton as well as the Chanel show. We also see some of the tweed in a Versace show, having dresses with like either houndstooth or more of a plaid situation. This is more like a different print, but it is tweeded item, so it has lots of texture part of the garment, and I really like it. If you think about it, it is very usually a little bit more of a voluminous item because it is not super tightly knit. There's some volume in the thread, in the yarn, in the threads, so it is a little bit of a volume creating. Let's move on to the next one, and we're talking about sheer things. All right, so sheerness is fun. If you don't want to add chunkiness to a certain body part, wear something sheer. It has a layer that's just see-through, so it kind of gives you the coverage without adding the chunkiness or the bulkiness to it, unless it's stacked like in this Gucci dress, which adds more volume, but you know what I mean. I love the contrast of Alexander McQueen having leather and that sheer dress. Once again, layered tulle will create volume. Just think about where that volume is going to be. We have lots of layered items, but sometimes we have full sheerness on the runways, and that is really cool. I like it. as long as everybody is being civil about it, you know, there's like, if a girl is wearing it, there's not going to be any catcalling situation. Just leave people alone, okay? If they want to wear something sheer and they're comfortable, let them be. Fendi had a lot of layers of sheer clothing, sometimes paired with something non-sheer like undergarments, or maybe it's just a top with a regular bottom. We also see kind of a sheer knit dress situation in Givenchy, as well as Hermes. Of course, in Valentino, they're going to have as many textures as possible. So here we go, we have some sheer items. Maybe some of them are a little bit pleated, just to add more texture once again to the item, and others are just flowy. We have some sheer corsetry from Versace. I love it. And sheer items, because they flow very nicely, they can also bring more volume. Like here in Yves Saint Laurent, we have some really nice dresses that are really tight, but then the others we have kind of that nice sheer skirt coming out of a blazer or a coat, and it adds volume as the model is walking. We also have some more of a second skin kind of a sheer items in Burberry. Loewe had some really funky use of the sheerness with having like heels stuffed into a dress. It's interesting. It's interesting. Miu Miu having like sheer paneling, sheer skirts, sheer tops, sheer dresses. There's lots of underwear showing on a lot of runways through the sheer items. We also see kind of an overlay in Prada, like a little dress on top of a tank top. We have some Dior having sheer items, sheer skirts, and sheer dresses. Very beautiful tulle layering work, a little bit of a corsetry here and there. Very, very, very beautiful work, very elegant. Dolce & Gabbana is having some sheer second skin balaclava kind of a suit situation. Once again, having dresses with extremely strong shoulders, or having more of a body tight situation. Very, very interesting. If you are confident enough in wearing it, I think you should try it out. Christian Siriano having more of that sparkly but still sheer like overdresses, and having some volume at the shoulders with that material adds puffiness. So yes, this is something very closely following the sheer material trend. And it doesn't have to be super sheer, it can be layered on top of something, but we do still see it being very revealing in some shows, like in Balmain. If you like the sheer aspect of it and you want to make it more feminine, then go for the lace. If you don't like the femininity of it, then go just for the sheer without any floral pattern on it. Basically, there are lots of shows that had it, some even like lace cutouts, like in Valentino, as well as Jill Sanders. We had a lot of that kind of a cutout style of lace. And we had some lace that is barely visible that it's lace, because it was probably layered on top of something else. Having more of a body suit, kind of a tight thing in Zimmermann, as well as having more volume as a lacy kind of a ruffle. We see a lot of it in Dior, very beautiful work there, and Lanvin. All right, let's talk about a velvet now. It is more of a heavier material. It kind of drowns out the light, it kind of absorbs it and reflects it in some ways. If you're thinking about wearing it, then once again think about wearing it in the part of the body that you would like to make bigger, because it is thicker, it adds volume for sure, and if it is bunched up, then it will catch the light and it will reflect it, so it will bring more volume to that section of the body that you're wearing it on. Think about if you are a pear-shaped or a reverse triangle, and choose the garment accordingly. So once again, reminder, if you're reverse triangle, adding more interest to the bottom section will balance out your body. If you are a pear-shaped, then having something at the top would balance out your body type. We also see a lot of kind of carpet thing happening. So right here in mosquito, we have it being a velvety material and having more of a carpet print on it. We also see this in off-white, more of a street style kind of a situation here, having even a whole suit out of it. I really like it. The only thing is I think it would catch a lot of little stray hairs and dust, and I don't know how to wash it, honestly. It is a beautiful texture, especially for fall, winter. It is much warmer, so if you're thinking of a little gown for a special winter event, then velvet is a very beautiful texture to wear, especially if you're going for some really nice, deep, rich colors, like we see them in a Lanvin, which, like, oh my goodness, so beautiful. Silky or satiny, something very shiny and very light. All right, we have quite a lot of it. It seems like this time around we have a lot of influence from the Y2K era, where we had a lot of sparkle, a lot of bedazzlement and shininess. So here we are, we have it back. Very silky, satiny coats, blazers, jackets, skirts, dresses, you name it. We had a lot of the silky kind of a nightgown dresses happening a few seasons now, so you can still wear those, or you can try something new, maybe layering it with a different texture. That would be really cool. Really beautiful, bright, saturated colors on the runways in that silky satin material. Very beautiful. Once again, because it is light, reflective, think about what part of the body you would like to highlight. Is it a statement piece where you're just wearing it all over your body, or do you want to take on your eye away from a certain body part, then wear it on a different body part? This type of material is very nice, very drapey. It feels more luxurious, more expensive, and I really, really like it. I have a blazer in that satin color, but you need to really pay attention to the color, because sometimes it might look a little bit cheap, on a cheaper side, if it's not a very well made material. We have some prints on them, and yes. All right, let's move on to, oh my goodness, this pink, oh, so beautiful. Drapes. So draping isn't really a texture of the material itself, it's more of a how it was manipulated in order to create texture. So here we have a lot of examples from Alexander McQueen. We have some draping in Balmain as well as in Yves Saint Laurent. It does add volume, but it can hide some imperfection in other ways. Just because it is not really like tight fitting, you can, the underwear lines aren't as visible, as well as maybe like your body rolls aren't as visible, once again, because nothing is tightly hugging you. So all these drapes are kind of masking any imperfection in your body, and that's pretty cool. So the next one we're talking about is very similar to draping, and it is ruffles. Ruffles, once again, they add lots of volume. So think about which part of your body you would like to add that volume to. I am sounding like a broken record, but I'm pretty sure by now you know your body type and where to add that ruffle to. We have it in different types of fabrics. Some of them are sheer, some of them are matte, some of them are shiny. We even have a patent leather kind of a ruffle in Christian Siriano, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Ruffles are very feminine, so if you'd like to add that femininity to your outfits, then go ahead, it is the one to go for. All right, the next one we're going to be talking about is fringe. We've seen a lot of fringe on the runways in the past, and when we think about fringe, it is very interesting texture to work with, but it is also can be very dangerous one as well if you're thinking about a longer fringe especially. So we see fringe happening in different ways. Some is shiny, like in Versace, having more of a top layer kind of a situation. We also see more of a like a smaller fringe, like a little detail on maybe a scarf or a jacket. We also see fringe on dresses in Louis Vuitton, as well as more of a shaggy kind of a fringe in coats and jackets, and of course the Fringe in beautiful scarves. Just highlighting that, like, I really like it, but I'm also very scared of wearing it. Once again, it adds volume, so think about where you want to put it. And yes, okay, so denim is pretty much very basic, very casual, and very, very, very wearable texture, and we're here for it. So whenever denim is out on the runways, I'm like, yes, this is great. So basically, you just need to look how it is paired maybe. Sometimes, is it ripped? Is it not ripped? We tend to go through these waves of ripped, not ripped kind of denim items. And in particularly, I love the diesel trench coats in that. Love it, would definitely wear it. So denim is quite a harsher, tougher material, so it might add a little bit of volume, but if you'd like to hide some imperfections, maybe it's cellulite or maybe it's like underwear lines and such, it is a great material to be used. If you'd like to add more volume, maybe find a garment that has denim but in like a textured way, as in maybe it's denim ruffles of some sort. But other than that, it is a very, very nice and casual material that anybody can wear and pull off. Just think about, do you want to wear denim on denim? Do you want to have it like a denim jacket and something else? So we have some quilted jackets. Not too many, but here we are. Jill Sanders having that, just a plain material and quilted, just having that little bit of stitching there adds a little bit more interest. Max Mara also having tops and bottoms in that does add up volume, so think about where you'd like to place it. Moschino also having that effect in there, and Christian Siriano also having that interest. Very interesting, some of these outfits, like too interesting and sometimes, in my opinion. Alright you guys, so this completes my video on textures that are on the runways. Of course, there are plenty of just regular, maybe cotton or regular kind of textured less materials, but if you want to add more interest into your wardrobe, here is some inspiration for that in the runway show formula for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. It does take me a lot of time, so I would really appreciate for you to maybe show a little bit of appreciation, maybe hit that like button, maybe subscribe if you're not already. I would love that as well. And welcome to the family for those that are new. If you'd like to see more videos on the trends of this upcoming season, you can check them out. They'll be listed down below in the description box. I've only made a few so far, but hopefully I'll be releasing other ones a little bit faster than before. As I said, it is very time consuming. In the comments down below, let me know which texture is your go-to texture to wear. And yeah, have a great day. Stay classy. Bye.